Hello, my lovelies. Ginny O here, the author with no last name. And this is Ginny O Reads, the part of the channel where I read the first chapter of an independent science fiction or fantasy book. This week's selection is Justine Manzano's The Order of the Key, a young adult superhero fantasy. You can find Justine at her website, justinemanzano.com, or on Twitter at Justine_Manzano. From the back of the book. Jacqueline Madison never expected to be attacked by a beast on an evening snack run. At a rescue mission enacted by a trained regiment of teenage warriors, and her night officially becomes just like a scene from one of her beloved comic books. Turns out, her parents were once members of the Order of the Key, gifted humans that protect humanity from creatures spilling through interdimensional rifts. Unable to control her newfound abilities, Jacqueline and her family rejoin the Order. After an attack on their headquarters leaves Jacqueline questioning their leadership, Kip, the boy who led her initial rescue, reveals a darker secret. The Order's leader may be corrupt, and Jacqueline's questions could put her family in danger. Drawn into the search for proof, Jacqueline must use her guts and magical brawn to protect her family, her friends, and herself from the monsters spilling from rifts and those hiding within the Order. The Order of the Key, Chapter 1. Run. In my dreams, I ran with my father. Or at least I thought it was my father. I never had the chance to meet him before he took off and kept on running, right away from Mom, from me, from kissing away boo-boos, and sneaking me cookies from the cupboard when Mom wasn't looking. Or whatever it was people did with their dads, I wouldn't know. But in the dream, we were together. His voice light and teasing, an Irish brogue, an accent unlike anyone else's in my life. He prodded me to hurry, to run faster, to keep up with him. The air was clear, and we didn't run on a track. Our feet snagged on fallen tree limbs and slick patches of wet leaves through the clearing in a forest I didn't recognize. We would take off so fast it was like flying. It wasn't real. For one thing, nobody moved that way. I wasn't the Flash, though that would have been awesome. For another, I lived in Bronx, New York my entire life, and the only stretch of open green space like that in the Boogie Down was the Botanical Garden, or the zoo. They didn't just let you blast through the trees there. In the Bronx, there were track meets on asphalt schoolyards or wooden gym floors with bad polish jobs, which was where I pressed my fingertips, my heels resting on the starting blocks, waiting impatiently for the whistle to blow. Maybe that dream was why I loved running so much. If I won this 800-meter race, I'd get the sweet spot in the first citywide competition of the school year. I rocked up onto my toes and backed down. I could do this. At the shrill of the whistle, I pushed off, the soles of my shoes pounding the floor as I moved across the track. Sherry Tilden, the contestant beside me, had once thrown my book bag into the pool during a party. It was one of the rare times I tried fitting in at school full of jock assholes, preppy overachievers who acted like FDR High was a one-way ticket to Harvard, and drug-peddling losers. It was also why I grinned when I pulled ahead of her. How's my dust taste, Tilden? I wasn't big on bragging, but beating a bully was too much fun. I might be Queen Geekdom, and she may have destroyed my copy of Miss Marvel Volume 1, but I was still the superior runner. So there was that. I had that, but not much else. Not when the underdog, a freshman girl whose name I didn't even remember, pulled in front of me as I started my second lap. Panic set in. I needed this race. I was a geek, not a nerd, as jocks often discovered when they asked me to do their homework and got C's. If I had any hope in hell of attending a top school, it would be because I clocked the fastest lap, not for my killer test scores. My lungs burned, and my feet stumbled, the muscles in my legs throbbed, my arms pumping as I tried to eat up the distance. We left the other competitors in the dust, but I couldn't get past her. Sweat beaded on my forehead. I was going to lose to a newbie baby freshman. No way. No superhero had ever won a battle by quitting. When the odds were stacked against them, they dug deeper until they found a way out. Dig deeper, Jax. Come on, you got this. You are one with the Speed Force. If I closed my eyes, I saw my father's laughing green eyes as he beckoned me forward, the tree trunks a gray-brown blur as we sped by. My eyes shut open. A burst of energy flooded my veins, crackling within me like I'd grabbed a hold of a live wire. The pounding of my heart drowned out the roar of the crowd in the bleachers. Blackness swam at the edges of my visions until all I saw was the lane disappearing below my feet. I went numb, inside and out. I couldn't feel my legs move anymore, but I was faster than everybody. And then I was done, past the finish line. First place. The girl who had been just a drop ahead was now a good 20 meters behind me. What the hell had just happened? How? My hands shook and my legs gave out. I hit the floor hard, pain rattling through my knees and up my thighs. Bile burned in my throat as the freshman launched across the finish line. Jacqueline, you okay? Coach Pearl shouted as she jogged to me. She pushed my water bottle into my hand. Drink, now. I tipped the bottle back, emptying it in a few thirsty gulps. Whoa, Coach smiled, revealing a row of grody teeth. That was insane. I don't know where that came from, but I'm going to need you to do that again. She frowned. But drink more water first or something, and pace yourself. You look like you died. I blinked, and when I could manage it, nodded. Come on. Coach held out her hand. Let's get you some recognition. Another nod, and I let her pull me back to my feet. My legs wobbled like rubber, but I stayed on my feet. Sherry Tilden whispered something into the ear of the freshman I'd beaten, a scornful twist to her features. Sherry looked ready to spit on me, and the freshman looked like I'd stolen her puppy. What the hell? What's another enemy at this point? Coach Pearl announced the winners, and the crowd in the bleachers gave the customary applause. I tuned out after my name, busy scanning the crowd. The usual mortifying, extra-loud whoops and shrieks of excitement had been missing during my race, and I longed for them, despite myself. Absently, I accepted the half-hearted congratulations of my competitors and praised them for a great race, all the while trying not to be disappointed. Mom had promised she wouldn't miss this, but she wasn't there, and neither was my sister Ghana. Coach Pearl slapped me on the back and smiled. I returned it and tried to ignore the burn of disappointment eating at the bottom of my stomach. I failed. Still, I tried to play along, chatting with the people in the bleachers about the next race and what I wanted to do after I graduated school. The short answer? I had no idea, but it had better involve a track scholarship. I killed time until the locker room emptied, then headed downstairs to get changed. I tended to be a t-shirt and jeans kind of girl, but I'd chosen a special outfit for a special day. A pink, long-sleeve V-neck shirt and a brown skirt with matching knee-high leather boots. Happy birthday to me! I was moping, and I knew it. I hadn't really expected any of the kids at school to remember, but Ghana hadn't said anything all day, and Mom had left for work before I even woke up. My 18th birthday, and the only person who seemed to care was me. I released my hair from its ponytail and fluffed my long dark curls. I applied makeup, a swipe of powder across my face, a coat of mascara, gloss on my lips, then throwing on my light jacket, I headed home. The sky was overcast when I stepped through the heavy metal door and out into the crisp fall air. Drawing my jacket a bit tighter around me, I hurried down the steps and off in the direction of our apartment building. I needed to get home. I was still drained and shaky from the race. Maybe if I sat and rested for a while, I'd feel better. I barely got around the corner before a noise stopped me in my tracks. You think you're hot shit, don't you? Sherry Tilden. I closed my eyes and allowed myself a deep breath before I faced her. The freshman and one of the other runners from the race flanked her, and as they looked on, Sherry, who is model tall and bottle pretty, stepped forward, right into my face. Rancid Cheeto breath. My nose wrinkles. Can I offer you a breath mint? I barely got the words out before she shoved me. Stupid slippery dress boots had no traction, and down I crashed, onto my ass. A hand twisted in my jacket. and for a second my eyes didn't see fingers or literally nails filed to a perfect point. They saw claws protruding from ink, black, moist skin. I flinched, slamming my eyes shut to clear my vision. Monsters. Just like the ones that chased me every time that running dream with my dad went south, reminding me that in the end, I was alone. Nightmares aren't real. Sherry's not a monster, just a monstrous bitch. What's wrong? Sherry said with a needling whine better suited for a child. You didn't seem scared of me before. You didn't have claws before. Well, to be fair, I swatted her hand away and rose, brushing some dirt from my clothes. It would have been tough to see me from so far behind. Bitch! She pulled one arm back, and I knew it was a punch on its way, but my vision seemed to blur. Sherry! The freshman called her, and the other girl grabbed her arm, stopping her. We should go. You'll get thrown off the team if you... That's right, Sherry. I turned away to continue my walk home. You should definitely go. My stomach rumbled. What was going on with me? Hey, I ain't done with you yet. She yanked at my arm, and a screeching sound echoed through my ears. I didn't even think before the punch connected, laying Sherry out on the sidewalk. The girls swore, dropping to their knees beside her. As if on delay, pain shot through my hand the minute I moved it. The skin of my knuckles cracked and bloody. She wasn't my first bully, not by far, but I didn't think I'd ever hit anybody that hard. Fuck you, Madison, the freshie shouted up at me. I took that as my opportunity to leave. Sherry groaned as I turned my back on the seat. I flipped her the finger and didn't look back. But I stayed alert, listening for sounds of anybody who may follow. Mom was going to kill me when she found out what happened, and I wanted to be wrapped up in a blanket in my room, forgetting my disaster of her birthday when she did. If she did. Sherry might not have the balls to own up to her part. It was only about 10 minutes from the school to my house, so I picked up the pace, pushing through my exhaustion and longing for my bed. The pounding of basketballs bouncing off the stoop in front of a nearby apartment building echoed through my head, and I squeezed my eyes shut until I stabilized. Relief flooded through my chest when our 6-story walk-up came into view. It was constructed from graying bricks that had once been pristine, the green paint of the banister and door peeled off in sharp chips. A maze of fire escapes crisscrossed along the face of the building. It may have looked like a prison, but it was our prison. Ghana's voice carried out of the apartment and froze me in place. No, Mom, there isn't enough time for that. She'll be home any minute. I'm just gonna write Happy 18th Bat Day. If I draw Batman and icing, he'll look like a potato with bat ears. I grinned. Yeah, well, drive faster. You're already later than you should have been. Ghana again, apparently on the phone with my perpetually late mother. At least they were trying to throw something together for me. I backed out of the apartment building. I didn't want to ruin their surprise. I'd kill time, go to the bodega, and come back, ready to be surprised. It was strangely silent for only 6 in the evening. An eerie vibe settled along my shoulders, buzzing in my ears like static, like a spider's sense. Like before, during the fight. Maybe I should have stayed home. Ridiculous! The bodega wasn't far, and I could handle myself. My boot heels echoed on the concrete. After a block, I settled into a rhythm and shed the fear. I turned the corner to go through the alleyway, my shortcut to chips and chocolate. But I wasn't alone. I jumped. Someone was there. Halfway down the block, shrouded in shadows. Lurking. Something about him looked wrong, but the dark obscured my view. I took a step closer. Something about him was wrong. What I was seeing wasn't a him, it was an it. I stepped forward again at the will of eyes that couldn't make sense of what was in front of them. It was a monster, the kind I'd read about in my stacks of collected comics, except this one wasn't constructed of paper, ink, and a sprinkling of imagination. In the dark of the alley, all that was visible was its silver, saliva-dripping teeth as they glinted in the light of a nearby street lamp. The rest looked shapeless, undefined, like oil dumped over a sack of bones. It was broad, and the tight space of the alley slowed its stride to a shuffle. I needed to run. My entire body tensed, but my feet remained rooted to the ground. Just a step. Just one step. My boot scuffed against the concrete. The thing shrieked, a sound piercing enough to leave my ears ringing long after the scream ended. Disbelief numbed my senses. Happy frickin' birthday to me. Well, my lovelies, would you continue reading? Enjoy listening to me read books? Then please hit that like or subscribe button. And if there's a book you'd like me to review, leave me a comment with a buy link or go to my website, ginny0.wordpress.com, that's Ginny, the number 0.wordpress.com, and get in contact with me there. Speaking of my website, that's where you can find me and all the information about my character-driven found family, werewolf science fantasy, and fantasy books. You can also find me on Twitter at Ginny0. My books are available on Amazon and are enrolled in Kindle Unlimited. Next video, I'll tell you whether or not I liked the Order of the Key and why. See you in the next video, my lovelies.